Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillarless Tabletop Games. Today's episode, Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition. A game I picked up as part of a group of games, a bundle as it were. And all I really wanted it for was this one and maybe 1930. Alright, so just like Terraforming Mars, you're raising the temperature, increasing oxygen with forests, and making oceans to terraform Mars and have the most points at the end to win. But this one takes things in a weird direction. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Puerto Rico and Death Angel, the Space Hulk card game, the way things work out. As part of setup, you'll have your board. This is the nice version that has the recessed sections. You'll have your choice of 2 corporations, 1 to play with. You'll also start with 8 cards, and you'll see what they are before you pick your corp. Again, they'll be green, they'll be red, and they'll be blue. Red cards will actually stay face up, so you can make use of tags, which is interesting. But yeah, overall, the way the cards will end up getting played, they'll just take up a whole lot less space overall, which will be pretty nice. So yeah, you'll have your starting corp and cards and money. You don't have to worry about paying for your cards, you just get 8 of them. And you'll set up your tracks here. You'll track the money you get when you get money, and heat and plants when you get those. You no longer get metal and titanium. That's just a straight up discount on those cards. You also produce cards as well, which is an interesting change. Once everyone has their starting stuff and the board is set up accordingly, 0 oxygen, negative 30 on temperature, and 9 unplayed oceans, everybody will simultaneously pick one of the 5 cards they intend to play and prepare it face down, and then everybody will flip face up, and that'll be the action that all players get to do that turn, with the bonus of it going to the player who actually played the card. So, let's say we reveal and blue went with development and yellow went with construction. Normally this is not how this happens. I'm just doing this because having to flip tiles constantly is hurting my hands. So trying to do that as little as necessary. So you go from the top, development, then construction, then action, then production, and research. You only do those if those cards are actually up. So what do these do? Development. Each player may play 1 green project card. And the player who played the card pays 3 money less for it. So there may be certain requirements, like the temperature has to be in the purple or red area, or there needs to be 3 oceans and then you have to give up a plant. But then you just pay the cost, put the card out there, get whatever you get out of it. Make sure you pay for it. Any special lightning bolt stuff, get a plant. And it's there. Construction. Each player may play one blue or one red card. The blue cards being the actions or special effects. So here's an action. Reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. Place a card with science or plant. Reveal this way into your hand. Discard the rest. Yeah, there's some cards in here with names I have not seen in the base game of actual Terraforming Mars. It's just interesting that they've shaken it up that way. The bonus for playing construction, you can draw a card or play an additional card this phase. Action. Each player activates any action effects and standard actions. Standard actions being spending money to get a forest, spending money to raise the temperature, spending money to put out the ocean, using plants to put out a forest, or heat to raise the temperature. When you put out the forest, it raises the oxygen. Raising the temperature, just raises the temperature. When you flip an ocean, you choose one, flip it up, get whatever bonus is there. Any further oceans that get flipped up have to be adjacent to the one that's already been. Whatever you do for oxygen, temperature, or oceans raises your TR as normal. As a bonus, if you've played the action card, then you can do an additional action with one you've already done. 4. Production. Get your heat plants, money, and cards. Remember, just like Terraforming Mars, you get your TR added to your money for when you get it. If you play the bonus, you get an additional 4. At the end of your turn, you're limited to 10 cards in hand. You can either choose to discard cards or be forced to by the end of the turn to get $3. It just straight up goes into your section with cubes. Just being able to sell cards for $3 instead of 1 is already pretty nice. Finally, research. All players draw 2 cards and keep 1. If you actually played the card yourself, you draw an additional 3 cards and keep 1. As part of the setup, they recommend splitting the draw deck into 2 so that each side has access to a stack of cards. Then again, there's always that concern of, wow, we got stuck with all the crappy cards. Yeah, it happens. So in future turns, this stays out, and then you prepare your next card, and then the other card comes back to you before you flip. Because you're not allowed to do the same action twice in a row. So in that sense, it reminds me a lot of the Death Angel card game. When you get other stuff that comes up, when you get forests, when you build forests with your plants, you get a forest token. Forest tokens are worth points at the end of the game. Cards that you play with little points on the right-hand side are worth points at the end of the game. And of course, your TR is part of your points at the end. What ends the game? The usual. Max oxygen, max temperature, and all the oceans flipped. Whatever phase it happens in, it ends there. Uh, During a phase in which you max something out, anything else that happens in that phase that pushes it past the maximum still scores the TR. But after that point, it's too late. You can't get any more TR out of it. So yeah, end of the game, all the stuff's maxed out. Most points between TR and forests and cards wins the game. I've only played this game once. Why do I like it? First off, less space. It goes faster. This is an interesting approach. Not having to have actual steel and titanium, it just straight up reduce the cost. So let's say I'm playing Vesta Shipyard and I've got 4 titanium and 3 steel production. That reduces the cost to what? -6 plus -12 -18. That lets me play the card for free. Hell yeah. Now I'm curious to see if they'll feature any of the other corps. But then it's going to add stuff, and I don't know if it's going to be as fast or, space friendly. One of the curious things about this edition that I ended up with is on the other side, it features the board this way. So one little connecting point here for the oceans, and they spread out in either direction. The arcs are this way. It's basically the same values. Instead, you'll need 2 tokens to keep track of your points. But yeah, either way, it's entirely valid. But yeah, it's the only little bummer point for me for this one is that it's only for 4 players. But limiting it to 4 players means it's still contributing to making the game go faster. And honestly, a faster version of Terraforming Mars is fine by me. A lot of the things that happen in like actual Terraforming Mars that make it take for freaking ever. People screwing around with their blue cards, trying to maximize cities. Yeah, there are no cities in this one. It's all about the terraforming. Yeah, it's just a far more streamlined experience, and I think that improves the idea a lot more. But I still intend to hold on to my copy of actual Terraforming Mars. But I'm definitely going to play this one quite a bit, I think. Definitely more than I play my own copy of the big game. So, Terraforming Mars Expedition. Check it out if you haven't already. And have fun. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Pillar, and I'll see you next time.